Without further ado, let's go to the King of Miami, the man who fought on Saturday, retired on Saturday, but something tells me we'll be seeing and hearing from him for many, 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 many more years to come. Kind enough to join us, the one and only Jorge Masvidal. Jorge, my man, how are you? Thank you for doing this. I appreciate it. You look fantastic, by the way.
Thank you, my brother. How you doing, man? Always a pleasure to work with you. We started a long time ago, so it only feels right to also end it with my boy, on that note.
Well, I appreciate that because I was talking to Chael just moments ago, and for a second I thought I was losing you, and I was trying to convince you to come on the show while he was on the show. It was a lot of back and forth, but here you are. I knew you wouldn't let me down.
Let's go. Let's go.
How do you feel, Jorge?
I
Monday,
feel
after your last fight, has it sunk in? What are the emotions? What are you feeling?
the emotions are like still a big mixed bag of emotions because I still love the sport and on a physical level I could still do like very good and I was looking at the tape I still have some hand speed and some things are still good, so it's like damn, but other things I just see it that it's not quite the same, like from mind to body, that like whatever those neurotransmitters are, they're not firing how they used to, and I'll give you like an example. Like I see the punch coming, I don't think about it. And it's like I kind of see the punch, and then I'm like, oh snap, I got hit. So I saw the punch, and I wasn't tired, and it's just been happening. Like that motor function that I just had has slowed down, and it's not the same. So why continue to fight? Because I've always been somebody that's had like great defense and stuff, and I've been seeing that come down more and more. And then I started thinking about it, like, man, I've been taking blows and dodging blows since a kid. It's only a matter of time that everybody could ride that roller coaster that they love the most until they, for some reason, can't ride it anymore. It's been my favorite activity to do. I'm still gonna always practice martial arts because I feel it's just good for me to have that release. But to compete at the level that I signed up for since a kid, I'm not there no more. And why even like push that anymore? There's many guys that I could still beat, I feel, on the roster, but I didn't sign up to just do this as like get money for it. I signed up to fight the best of the world, and I feel like I'm not there anymore. I've lost that step. So it's just it's time to pass on the torch. But in that, I want to thank a lot of people that helped me like get here, like Kimbo Slice, that opened up the doors for me, opened up his platform so I could fight. Then before you know it, I'm fighting for Strikeforce. Scott Coker, thank you very much. I was in Japan for a long time. I was with Bodog. I was all over the place, and I finally ended up with the UFC and Dana White. So I want to always thank them eternally for opening the doors in my career and expanding it a lot bigger and giving that platform. And that's something that I'm going to keep doing is I'm going to keep promoting fights. So my fighting spirit will live on that. I'll keep putting on the shows that I could put on at the time to make them as big as and as best as possible and give these fighters another option to fight and come fight for me and then promote themselves, So I'm done fighting for now, but my fighting spirit is like far from, done.
Considering you've been fighting as a pro for 20 years and God knows how long before that, is it hard to come to terms with this, that you're not as quick as you once were, that you're not, like, is that a hard thing to come to terms with?
Oh, that's the hardest thing, it's just not natural anymore when it's always been something very natural for me to just see a punch and go, or like somebody shoots a takedown and you got the next 3 sequences in your mind. Like, I feel like that slowed up. So making me even, maybe my body has slowed up, but I feel like that's what slowed up the most than anything, and it's not nothing bad or nothing. It's just your boy's 38 now, and man has his physical prime, 36, 37 years old. And after that, reflexes and things like that start to come down some, But it's been the funnest ride ever. I wish I could have gone out on a W a couple scraps ago, but fuck, it was rough, man. It's a fight game. I still love it. I'm not bitter about it because it's a fight game. This is what I signed up for, to kill or be killed. And this is why I love this game. And I'm always going to be behind this game, promoting the next future stars of this sport. And it's going to be a fun roller coaster as a promoter.
When did you come to the conclusion that if you don't win this fight, because you dropped this in the countdown show, we spoke a couple of times leading up to the fight, you never hinted at this. So when did you decide, if I don't win this, I'm more than likely going to retire?
A lot of factors went into that. Like, I wanted to see it. I was praying to God that I'd have like a great fight camp and get to the fight with no injuries so I could make like an accurate decision in my career. Well, guess what? I got to the fight camp with virtually no injury. It was like literally one of my best fighting camps that I had. So training wise, it wasn't like I had an excuse, like, man, my ankles messed up, so I couldn't get in my road work that I usually do. No, it was like a perfect one. So there was no excuse there. That's something that I wanted to see, like the training camp compared to the fight. In many ways, I feel like well, not feel, it's by numbers. I'm not, like, I'll share a little something with you. I'm not the best, like, back-to-back mile runner, you know? Like, if there's no break, if it's like 1, 2, 3 miles, I don't get like the best times like that. I push myself for a long period of time to just focus on that and to beat that, you know? And I actually did better now than I've done most of my career. So in like some aspects, my physical was pretty damn good, you know? And it was like, so there's no excuses. If I lose this fight or I don't perform the way I want to in this fight, it's just not the same me. And there was times I felt like I could have done way more when I did hurt Gilbert and I did catch him, and just that spark, that boom, 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 that next level, that next shift in gear wasn't there, you know? So it was like, fuck, even like, let's say 10 seconds ago, I would have got the story ending that Miami deserves and fucking clipped this guy and put his ass to sleep with like 10 seconds ago, I still would have retired. I still would have been like,
Oh,
hey, I don't
really?
have it no more. Thank you everybody for the victory. But you know, this is not like me at my best, you know?
Mm.
And I could be a
The
sore
whole
loser like that if you want, because it's been 20 years. Sounds like I'm a sore loser, right? But it's 20 years, you know, like I don't feel like it, you know? I
no,
love
and
doing
by
it,
the way,
but
you,
I don't have that oh shit, okay. I dodged these 3 punches and like nothing happened. Now it's like I'm thinking way too much. It's not, when I fire back, they're not there no more. The standstill pictures ain't as sharp as it used to be. You feel me?
people retire and they come back, and you have a boxing promotion which has featured a lot of guys who have left the UFC. My prediction is you make an appearance over there. Are you leaving the door open for maybe a game bred appearance as far as actual fighting on a game bred either boxing show or bare knuckle show or any kind of? I mean, you have multiple promotions. How could you not fight for your own
No.
promotion?
I definitely would X out bare knuckle just because my hands, your boys has 20 years in the fight game. My hands have been through everything you can imagine. There's times after fights that it's like the hands are bad, you know? So I with gloves and casts and all that. So I personally couldn't do that. You know,
Okay.
I wouldn't do MMA obviously. And I always wanted to do boxing fights, but as of right now, I would say no to all of it, you know. Not not really knowing what the future would entail. I don't know. You know, 2, 3 years from now, I don't know. And also depends on the type of shape that I'm in and everything, you know. Everything will be like
Right.
very,
Okay.
very calculated, especially from this point going forward. But I'm not gonna say no to it. If something crazy came about, yeah, I would entertain it. And obviously, first and foremost, I'd have to get the UFC's permission, you know. They'd have to be the ones to grace me with that because I'm still under contract with the UFC, which is, there's a lot of people saying stuff out there, agencies and stuff, saying that I owe them something or this and that. I only owe to the UFC the negotiations that me and them had, you know, that we did.
Right.
No, nobody negotiated for me. There's a lot of people saying they negotiated for me. Last 4 years, I've negotiated myself with Hunter and Dana, and they themselves know it. I just want to clear that up while I'm here too. Anybody saying out there that they deserve this or that or any type of credit, Hunter and Dana themselves will tell you who they've been negotiating the last 4 years, face to face, not on the phone or nothing, face to face in that office. Everything getting done till it gets done. There's a lot of rumors
So
out
you
there.
say
Just gotta cut by that.
so you say definitively this is it for you. You are done. You are not going to fight anymore.
Yeah, I just, you know, in a train year round, I was in pretty good shape coming into this fight. But like I said, it's not the same me. So why do it? You know, why sell myself short? And when I think, man, it's been 20 years. It's something fights. You know, I've had fun. I've loved doing this. It's fun as hell, and I wish I could continue on. I truly wish I could have what I had like at 33, 34, that type of speed still in me, and then I would go another XYZ years, but it's not there. Because if it was,
Mm.
I'd be like
It, it,
right back in the crushing these motherfuckers, you know?
it was lovely to see your kids there. I don't know if I've ever seen them on camera before, and I'm
Never,
assuming
never,
those
never,
youngsters were
never.
your kids. Were they?
Yeah, yeah.
Are those your kids? You have 3 kids? I don't even know how many kids you have.
Well, here's the thing, you know. I usually have him backstage, and I kind of wanted to surprise him because I knew that I was gonna have my kids backstage. And just the world's like a weird place, so I really don't like putting my family like on blast. And a lot of them have always asked not to be on the camera, especially my daughter. I got it to a point where I got like real famous. So in school, like she hated this like fame that she was getting because I was her dad. And everywhere she went, it's like, oh, you're so and so's dad. Now she got older. Now she could handle it a little better. So my son, I didn't know if I wanted to like put him in that cast because you at home might be thinking like, oh, what's the big deal? Well, some kids don't like it. I was the type of kid that I didn't want to talk to nobody all day long. I came to years and years and years of being around it, get comfortable being famous, but I just always respected like my kids and what they wanted, you know. So I don't really usually put them on camera or nothing like that, you know. But it's
Well,
all
it was
good. They
nice
had
to
them
see
all
with
out.
him.
It was their dad's last fight, so you know everything changed up. They were a little nervous and unnervous, and I kind of flipped the script on them last second too, you know. So they didn't really know how to act and stuff. They were like, you know, very in shock. And my son loved it, you know. My daughter too. But we didn't get the victory. They've been there. They've seen all the ups and downs, all the times I've left early, come home late from the gym, and just repeated that cycle for numerous days now. Personal, I get to kick it more with them. So it's like one of the things I look most forward to in my retirement is that I could give them that time that I didn't always have to give them, you know, because I'd be at the gym and then back home, eat, rest, and then back to the gym, and then boom, you know, whatever time was left for them. And I was like, I can make my day kind of according to what their plans are going, and then boom, do my shit, you know?
Immediately after the fight, it seemed like all love between you and Gilbert, but at the post-fight press conference, he accused you of greasing. Did you see this, and what's your response?
That there's a commission. There was like 3 commissioners backstage. There's numerous people backstage besides USADA. I've never greased. I've never been caught for cheating or anything. Maybe I'm the sweatiest motherfucker he knows, but I've never greased. I've never put on anything in my life for forever, you know? Like I've never done that in my life, you know? Maybe he should blame his technique for fucking, you know, being shitty, not being able to do anything but just hold on the ground. I've never
Okay.
cheated in my life. You know, the referee was there touching me constantly and breaking us up and moving us around. You telling me he couldn't feel if I had grease? He knew the difference between that and sweating. So I mean, it's whatever, bro. I've never cheated. I'm not about to cheat, you know. I've never even had a point taken away from me in all my 50 something pro fights. So for this guy to try to slander my name on my last one, whatever, bro.
Does that annoy you?
It annoys me because I've never put grease or Vaseline or anything. I just go out there and compete, bro. I've never done steroids. I've never missed weight. So I feel I don't have to cheat to beat any of these motherfuckers. So it's just whatever, bro. Let him throw whatever he feels like out there.
Um, Eventful week. You were man of the people. I saw you signing autographs. You're coming out of the car. I mean, you're doing. I mean, it was the Jorge show. But I'd be remiss if I don't ask you about Kevin Holland. And we had Kevin on earlier in the show, and I know Dana tried to stop any questions from happening. But now that it's all over, can I ask you for your side of the story here? What first happened at the hotel between you guys? We saw this footage of you guys going back and forth. What sparked that?
Okay, I'll answer this and I'll just leave it alone because I don't give a flying fuck about this guy. If I run into him in a parking lot, we can have a discussion man to man, but like to fight this guy or even hype up anything to do with a fight, no thanks. The guy's a quitter and a bum. He called me a girl, he misgendered me. He straight up misgendered me. He said it himself that he misgendered me. And I won't stand for that. I won't take that. I'm like, don't play with me, bro. I'm not here to play with you in any way, shape, or form. I don't give a fuck about your existence. You know, if you do good, good, and if you do bad, I don't give a fuck. Don't just stay the fuck away from me. You're not gonna misgender me either, you know. But he does that because there's like 5 security guards literally with me, and you know, besides PR and everybody everywhere else. But I guarantee you, I'd bet my life on it. He wouldn't do that if it was just me and him in a room. He would not dare misgender me if it was just me and him because I'd get my point across very swiftly to him. But 5 security guards on me and him walking it off, saying it like, yeah, I get it why you're misgendering me because you're not a man, you know. That's why you would do that. You're gonna do that and then like walk away like some sissy, you know. So that's all I got to say on the individual. Really, I don't really want to talk about this guy, bro, because he's a bum.
Okay, fair enough. Could I just ask, after the weigh-ins, there was this like helicopter footage of you fired up. Did it have anything to do with him, or was that something else that happened? Do you know what I'm talking about? Where you were shirtless outside after the weigh-ins on Friday? but we couldn't see what you were upset about or who you were talking to.
Yeah, well, fucking, it's crazy. Got cameras everywhere in this bitch.
It was like
Yeah,
helicopter footage. You saw that? Like,
that was just some petty ass shit, you know, some petty shit that happened and whatever. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. That's just some petty ass shit with some petty fuck, you know? And that's it, just me, your boy getting out of control. But now it's something that I could actually like tone down a bit, you know? It's like all that aggressiveness and the violence and shit, you know? Because I'm still gonna be into the violence, but in a different way, you know?
okay, but that was with someone else.
I was just some idiot.
Okay, so then can I ask you, like, was there too much going on during, with the Kevin
No,
stuff, with
certainly
being
not.
no?
The fight. No. The fight week was amazing. I can't complain. Everything was great. You know, UFC went above and beyond to make sure that all the craziness that comes from fighting in your hometown was very well taken care of and stuff. They went as hard as they could to make sure that I was accommodated. You know, Miami itself went way out of their way to make sure I was accommodated. So there's like no excuses or nothing whatsoever. I feel like this was the greatest fight camp. Like that's another reason why I make my mind up. Like I slept in my own bed. It felt amazing. I was in my own oxygen chamber. I was in my own cold tub. It was like everything. It felt like cheating almost. You know, like, wait, I'm going to fight and I have all these extra things on my side. President Trump is there. I'm in my own city and I can't win against this guy, which my MMA math usually is pretty on point. You know, I know I could have beat this guy 3 years ago, something like that, 2 years ago. You know, so it's just some things ain't working at that same speed no more. That's why no excuses. We can be fair and square on that night. But I also know and I've gotten a step slower, you know? Sorry,
I'll
everybody.
let you go in a minute. No, it's all good. I'll let you go in a minute because I told you I wouldn't keep you very long, but I
A
appreciate
lot of
this very
motherfuckers
much.
is pissed. And I get it, bro. I love you, man. I love all you motherfuckers that I inspired. I get it, man. A lot of my goons are lost their head because I've been there where I lose, and then I come back and I find a way to win, you know? And keep winning. So I get a lot of people upset, but man, I love the sport and I love everything that it's taught me. You know, because the sport, out of everybody that's come through the sport, I feel like I've actually been one of the best students of learning what it takes for life to succeed, taking these principles of fighting, like, you know, having a coach that specializes in each discipline, you know, being able to delegate tasks and fucking stay on top of those tasks and meet the requirements you need to proceed to the next week and then keep doing it. I feel like this sport has shown me so much that I'm just thankful in forever, you know?
Man, what a run. 20 years. You fought all over the world. So many great
All
opponents, so
over
many
the
great
world.
fights. Is there one guy that you didn't get a chance to fight that you wish you would have gotten a chance to fight? Is there a name that sticks out?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure no, there's a bunch of names that stick out at different periods in my life. I always just wanted to fight whoever was the best, the top 5 guys in my weight class, whatever weight class I was at the time. That was usually like my motto, you know, like who are the best guys? Let me fight them. You know, when BJ Penn was the best guy at 155 and Takanori Gomi, those were the guys I was trying to fight, you know, and so on and so on. So it's been a long 20 years, and in those 20 years, numerous guys have been at the top, and those are the guys that I always wanted to fight. You know, just it was nothing personal. Just I want to fight the best of the best. You know.
Any regrets?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Captain Hindsight over here. Thousands of regrets.
Is there one that
Thousands
sticks
of
out?
There's a million that stick out, you know, because it's always that, you know, I'm Captain Hindsight now, like, oh my gosh. And my coach told me, don't go out that night because, you know, it's going to, and then bam, you know, so about 10 million regrets. I wish I was this wise when I was competing just like 4 or 5 years ago. You know, it's crazy how much wiser I am now. But in just that retiring, like my ego completely leaving me to an extent, you know, as far as like competition goes and seeing like critical mistakes that I thought like, oh, it's not my fault. Yeah, it actually was my fault in many different things, you know. And I had to like absorb all that in so I could make my next decisions, you know. I feel good with what I've done in the sport on many other levels. I feel like I opened the door for a lot of fighters such as myself, you know, to come in there and get it, whether they have a perfect record, whether they have a collegiate background or this back, just go in there and be as violent as you can, as long as you can, and things will work out for you in this sport, you know. For my Latin people as well, my Latin people of all colors, shapes, and sizes in whatever country they come from to go and get it, you know, because I'm a Latin motherfucker like them. And they see that I broke all types of records, so they could come in here and do the same damn thing and just push, you know. So that's a great feeling for me as well. I feel like on the money side, I did very good for myself, you know. But on the professional side, yeah, many regrets, many things like, fuck, I know I just, you know, a little here, a little there, that this different. You know, I feel I could have got better outcomes in a lot of fights where maybe close or they shouldn't have been close. You know, so that's something that always stick with me.
Favorite moment? What sticks out? When were you your happiest? What's the apex of it all?
Um, Believe it or not, man, like every single victory to me was like equally as important, bro. And I know it's hard to think like that, but to me it was because there was some times where the things around me were so like not good that one victory helped me get out of that not so good situation. Like let's say I was staying in your couch for the last 2 months, and now I got this like $4,000 check. I'm gonna go rent out something for like 3 months of my own. Like that was the best feeling ever, you know. And then fast forward to like maybe in a particular moment I got XYZ dollars at that moment. It didn't matter that it was so much more than that moment that was special to me though, because I got out of your couch and I remember that shit and things like that. I can't put any one victory over any one of the victories because to me they're all special, bro. They all have like a significance. Like my daughter's birthday came up and that check came in from a promoter that I was waiting for like 6 months. Finally came in, bam! That was an amazing feeling, you know. So I value pretty much all my victories the same.
Last one. I remember you telling me about sleeping in your car and the window didn't go up and there's rain. I think you have your dog with you. I mean, and you've had hard times. And I feel like you haven't even told us 50% of the hard times, to be honest, after all these years. And maybe there'll be a movie or a book that comes out. But if the guy in 2003 who fought in Fort Lauderdale was told that it would end up like this, you sitting here with the glasses, with the leopard skin robe, whatever it is that you're wearing in Miami, with the money you made, with the promotions you have, with the success you had with 2019, where you were the fighter of the year, the comeback fighter of the year, the most improved fighter of the year, fastest knockout, all that stuff, would he have believed all of this, or did all of this exceed your wildest dreams?
In all honesty, if you tell that to 2003 me, you'd be like, oh, we came up short, dog. We came up way short because I've always been a dreamer, bro. I've always been a dreamer and an achiever, and you know, I learned there wasn't a big amateur when I started for MMA, amateur MMA and fighting pro was like the same thing. So it was like, why do that? So I learned on the job, and I learned a ton on the job, you know. So I was always a dreamer, though. Even while learning on the job, if I would have told all this to 2003 Gamer, they would have been like, "Oh, we came up, you fucked up. You came up short, dog. You came up
Really?
major short." So that's
What's
just the way I
short?
am. That's just the way my heart works, you know, and many things. But I'm gonna take that into all my next future chapters of my life. Like all this knowledge that I got from fighting and all the times that I failed comes with me. All the discipline that I learned, it comes with me. And now through my fighting spirit is still here. I just, like I said, I don't have those biomechanics anymore. It's just this zapping the same. But that passion I still
Right.
have for fighting, I get to pour it on to promoting. And a little bit of me always like live in there forever.
And what's short? Not winning a UFC title? Because that's the only thing you haven't done.
Yeah, that and fucking I always wanted like numerous things. I wanted this was gonna sound crazy and you know, there was a way or two that I could have got it. You know, I had like a game plan for it, but I always wanted to try to seal up like a submission of the year award. You know, how dare I, right? I'm not a fucking grappler. Me try to get in there and do that. 'Cause I had like one or two good submissions that could have done it. And had I been practicing my flying arm bars enough and I would have got a Romino Sato arm bar on somebody ever, that would have been like fucking submission of the year, you know? And I could hit those in practice from time to time. And if the right guy would have came, I would have drilled the fuck out of it. I would have liked to hit something like that, you know? So in my career on a professional side, there's numerous things I wrote out that I wanted to do. I didn't get to do it, you know? And some of them for this reason, some of them for that reason. But it's still I come up short in my book for professional achievements.
All right. Well, you gave us a lot of great moments. And again, 2019 is one of the greatest years that a fighter has ever had. And I remember talking to you back in the day when you would eat brownies for breakfast before the KJ Noons fight and that run. You remember that? I mean, like living in an apartment and those video blogs that you had back in the day, and we saw the way you were living, and now to see you now is pretty damn incredible, and to see the love that you got. And I was so happy that you got that Miami moment, because no one represented Miami on this worldwide stage better than you. So much respect, my friend. Like I said, done fighting, but I feel like we'll be hearing a lot from you and seeing a lot of you as you now transition fully into promoting and God knows what else. So good luck in this next chapter. Congratulations in the previous chapter. Thank you for always coming on. And thank you for coming on today. I'm happy we were able to do this on the Monday after the fight, as per tradition.
Sir, yes, sir, man. Sir, yes,
Thank you,
sir.
Jorge. Thank you,
God
Jorge.
bless,
Enjoy,
brother.
and we'll talk to you soon.
Gracias a todos mis fans, siempre apoyándome desde 0 hasta 100 y todas las cosas en el medio. I fucking loving you. I want to thank my number one sponsor always, Jesus Christ. God Almighty, thank you for this beautiful career. The ups, the downs. I thank God always for all of my gifts that I have. They come from above. Thank you, God Almighty. Thank you all for tuning in. Lo fuimos. Lo fuimos.
Thank you, Jorge. Oh, there he is. He closed out. I have a funny story about that from a previous era, but great stuff there from Jorge Masvidal. What a look, huh? I mean, thank God he wore the glasses. I'm thrilled he wore the glasses. The glasses were phenomenal. The robe, the glasses, shades of the post Ben Askren fight where he was eating, I think it was pancakes, and he had the syrup, and the syrup was like super, like the thing was super close to the camera, and he was just going like that, like, and it was like right in front of the camera. Also, on that same interview, we were using FaceTime at the time, and he shut off the FaceTime, and we were live, and there were a lot of people watching because it was post Ben Askren knockout. And when you close FaceTime, all like the previous numbers show up, and so all the previous numbers, yes, from our previous guests showed up. That wasn't very fun, but we don't do that anymore. So good times.